Welcome to the Deep Dive. We take compelling sources, dig in, and pull out those insights that will really make you feel like you understand something new.
That's the goal.
And today we're tackling a topic that often comes with a lot of cultural baggage, maybe even some pretty strong prejudice.
Yeah, it's definitely sensitive territory.
You've probably heard the stereotypes, the whispers about the Jewish people and money. Maybe you picked up this idea of inherent greed or an excessive focus on wealth.
It's a common and often negative association.
Right. So our mission in this deep dive is to look past those surface assumptions. We've got a fascinating source here, and we're going to explore a historical truth about money that honestly, I think will completely reframe how you see this.
It certainly reframed things for me when I first encountered this material. The core idea hits you right away.
Okay, lay it on us.
Our source analysis points to this central concept. For the Jewish people, historically, money wasn't primarily about buying things or luxury. It was, and this is the key phrase, a shield for survival.
A shield for survival. Wow.
Yeah. And thinking about it that way, it just changes the entire conversation about their relationship with wealth, doesn't it?
It really does. A shield for survival. That's such a powerful image. So let's unpack that. What does that actually mean, in practice, beyond just a nice metaphor?
Well, the source suggests it's not just about having enough cash for daily needs. It talks about money serving almost as a form of divine protection.
Divine protection. How so?
And as a means to secure peace. Think about it less like, God handing out gold coins.
Right.
And more like having financial resources was seen as the practical way that divine protection actually worked in a hostile world.
Ah, I see. So the means through which protection could be achieved.
Exactly. If you had money, you could pay those crushing taxes that might otherwise get you expelled. You could, frankly, bribe an official to look the other way, or ensure safe passage for your family, or just keep your schools and synagogues running.
So it's about navigating immediate threats.
Absolutely. In a world that often seemed set on their destruction, the ability to use money to fend off those threats, well, that was seen as God's protection working through tangible means.
Yeah.
Protecting their peace, their survival.
That puts a completely different spin on it. But, okay, for an idea like money as a shield, to become so central, so deeply woven into a culture's thinking, there must have been some pretty harsh realities behind it. And our sources, they really paint a grim picture historically, don't they?
Oh, absolutely grim. The historical context we've been looking at is brutal. The sources hammer home this point about repeated exile and expulsion from their homeland.
Not just once, but again and again.
Exactly. It wasn't a single event. It was this recurring trauma over generations. Imagine constantly being forced out, having to start over somewhere new, often facing suspicion and hostility. That kind of deep-seated instability is key to understanding their perspective.
And the financial pressure on top of that. It's staggering when you look at the details in our sources. They mention taxes on, practically everything.
It's almost unbelievable.
Right. Taxes for praying, taxes for getting married, even taxes for burying your dead. It's like you had to pay a fee just to exist, moment by moment.
Can you imagine paying just to be? It fundamentally changes your relationship with money when every aspect of life, even the most sacred, has a price tag imposed by potentially hostile authorities.
It's designed to crush you, really.
And that constant, relentless pressure led to what our source calls a painful truth. They learned the hard way that if they didn't have money, they would be trampled, expelled, even killed.
Wow.
This wasn't some abstract fear. It was the day-to-day reality for centuries. Without money, you were just completely vulnerable. No recourse, no defense.
Just exposed.
Utterly exposed.
Yeah.
So money became, quite literally, the buffer between life and death.
So putting it all together.
Yeah.
The expulsions, the taxes, the physical danger.
Yeah.
What does it boil down to? Money became, as the source puts it, their only passport.
Their only passport.
Something you exchange for life itself. Not for fancy things, but for basic survival. The currency that bought another day, another chance to endure.
Yeah. And if we connect this experience to the bigger picture, something really interesting emerges, this constant fear and instability. It wasn't just about suffering. It actually forged a kind of core principle, almost an instinct, within Jewish consciousness.
Okay.
The historical analysis shows money became their protective wall against injustice. Not just a tool for buying things, but a fundamental defense. A shield, a wall.
A necessary defense. So it wasn't about wanting to be rich in the way we might think of it today, like aspirationally.
Less aspiration, more imperative. Our sources really stress this. It shifted from maybe a desire to a need. a need for enough security to simply survive.
Which must have set them apart from cultures that maybe didn't face that same existential pressure regarding finances.
That's a crucial distinction the sources make. While many other societies, historically and even now, might view money with suspicion, maybe seeing it as evil or corrupting.
Sure, that's a common trope.
The Jewish people, really out of necessity, developed a very different perspective. The research suggests they came to see money almost as a living saint.
A living saint. That's unexpected.
Isn't it? But think about it. Money was seen as something unbound by religious dogma, by national borders, by the prejudices that followed them everywhere else. It worked when nothing else could.
Okay, that's a powerful reframe. A living saint. Practical, maybe even sacred in its own way because of what it did. What were the tangible benefits then? How did seeing money this way actually help them navigate that hostility we talked about?
Well, the source connects this perspective directly to tangible outcomes. It says money afforded them respect, safety, and a voice before political power.
Ah, okay. So leverage.
Exactly. In situations where they were otherwise marginalized or silenced, money gave them a way to negotiate. A way to potentially buy protection for their community, to advocate for their interests, to get a hearing from authorities who might otherwise just ignore them.
It was a universal language in a sense.
It could be a practical tool for self-preservation and maintaining some level of communal dignity when other avenues were closed off.
This whole discussion, it really does shift the narrative completely.
Right.
So making wealth for the Jewish people based on these sources, it wasn't just personal ambition.
Yeah.
It sounds like it became a kind of responsibility for existence, a collective duty almost, to ensure the community could weather the storm.
Precisely. A heavy responsibility born from centuries of adversity. And this is where it brings us to a broader lesson, something relevant for all of us today, whatever our background.
Okay.
Our sources really emphasize that money itself is neutral. It's not bad, not good. Intrinsically, it's just a tool, a shield.
Right. It has no inherent morality.
Its value, its impact, comes entirely from how we use it, who is wielding it, and for what purpose.
A shield.
Yeah.
That makes sense. It can protect you if you know how to use it right, if you understand its purpose and its limits. But it can also become this huge weight, right? Something that crushes you if you just chase it blindly, if you let it control you instead of directing it.
That's the duality. And the core lesson that seems to emerge from this historical experience is really about intentionality. Meaning, we're encouraged to learn from this perspective, to consciously transform money into a tool to protect peace, rather than becoming a blind slave to it.
So be deliberate about our relationship with money. Understand its power, but use it as a means, not the end goal.
Exactly. Use it to build security, foster peace, contribute meaningfully, rather than just accumulating it for its own sake or letting the pursuit of it dominate everything else. And as we kind of wrap up this deep dive, there's this one final thought from our source material that really sticks with me. It says, money has no smell, no taste. It only carries the shape that human consciousness clothes it in.
The shape that human consciousness clothes it in. That pulls it all together beautifully.
Doesn't it?
For the Jewish people, historically, as we've discussed, that shape was survival. It was a shield, absolutely essential, forged under incredible pressure.
Yeah.
But for you listening, for us, that shape can be different. It can be a tool for creating peace in our own lives, for serving others, maybe for building something better.
The potential is there.
So if this conversation has maybe shifted your perspective a bit, we really hope you'll share that understanding. Maybe challenge some of those old prejudices if you hear them. Start a conversation.
Because money itself isn't the enemy.
Right. As the source says, it is a shield, a test of wisdom, and a mirror reflecting one's character.
Yeah.
Powerful words.
Very.
So the final thought for you to reflect on, building on all this, how does understanding this deep historical context change your own relationship with money? And maybe more importantly, what shape will you choose to give it in your life? Think about that. We'll catch you on the next deep dive.